good to be positive.
Yeah.
But I do think that, and I think Stephen's, and we do differ on this a little bit. I think that optimism is always a good thing. Hope. Hope is that thing that gets you through some of the major things in life. Without hope, you're destitute. I do think, however, that you got to temper your optimism. And in the case, I think Stephen's descriptor is naive optimism.
Cautious optimism.
Well, you use the word naive.
I said...
I
might have used naive optimism because that's how I refer to myself
no,
often.
because he says naive optimism, and I think that optimism in any form is good. It's always better to look at things in a positive light, but you do have to temper it with a sense of reality. And the reality, in my estimation, is the city didn't just have an epiphany. They didn't just say, oh yeah, okay, we got a problem. Yesterday I didn't think we did, but today I firmly believe we have a problem and we're going to turn this thing around. To your statement, it would be absolutely the best outcome if they had an earnest epiphany. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that's happened yet. I think that what is coming down to bear is the political pressure. We are now, blasting all over the airwaves, the print medias on New Mexico, Albuquerque in particular because of APD. It's that pressure that has brought them to their knees. Not so much that, we did our homework as a community, those that have been actively involved, but because there are other pressures. The mayor wants to go on to higher office. We've got a governor who wants to be reelected. So you've got things that are the realities that are coming into play. A perfect example of the city seemingly getting it, but yet not really, is Councillor Trudy Jones. When the council president, Ken Sanchez, had to terminate the meeting, the city council meeting.
When he did, without following the rules.
Mm-hmm. So the meeting ends, and then other individuals take over the dais, etc. Her complaint the following day on TV, in the newspaper, was they had not been able to vote on a very important bond initiative, so that the city lost $200 and some odd thousand. Mm-hmm. Okay, what that tells me is this woman is totally out of touch with reality.
Absolutely.
Because how much have they expended in lawsuits that have been paid out by the city of Albuquerque? Over $30 million. And she's lamenting about $200,000. $200,000 bond project, over $30 million paid out to the victims of APD violence. Okay, again, optimism is a wonderful thing, but this is just, 2 weeks ago. So what does that say to you? All of the things they keep sending out to us, it's garbage.
Oh, there's a number who don't get it yet, that's for certain. But you are seeing, there are a couple members of your council who don't perhaps speak up enough, at least in the public meetings. I think I'm starting to notice a little bit of internal tensions. People are starting to get, we're not getting all the information, we're not getting proper communication within our own. But you have a couple, Councillor Garduño.
Oh yes, he's excellent.
He seems to be very sympathetic, very understanding, very caring,
Yes.
trying, but still not able to become more forceful in how he approaches it. You've got a couple others, although I don't know if you saw Thursday night's meeting where I actually addressed this point, but Councillor Harris, who I couldn't believe was an attorney, but he made a statement that in a totally off topic, about initiative process, that police officers decide constitutional questions on a daily basis. I don't know if you heard that.
I heard that.
And if that's an indicator of part of the, not just but the political culture among the political class, your problem isn't just in the police department.
No, it's true.
Because police officers are bound to live and act within very fine constitutional parameters that are set for them and that their training is supposed to have taught them. You don't go beyond. It's not, I mean, they don't get to make those choices. And for an attorney sitting as a counselor to have introduced that concept, I think was very revealing. And yeah, I think, you know, the optimism is one thing, the hope, the real positive attitude that we can make a difference. As hard as it can be at times when you really see how big a fight these fights can be, has to be complemented with a continually critical eye. The critical questions need to be continually asked. And in an ideal form, that's the norm, you know, and the officials understand that that critical inquiry is going to be part of the process and don't see it as an offense, but integrate it into their normal way of thinking. And that's where the citizens come in, because that critical questioning and critical analysis is absolutely essential if things are going not just to change, but once changed, be maintained at the proper standards.
That's true.
Well, thanks.
I see us under consent decree for decades.
And there have been examples where that's been the case. I mean, this is clearly a problem that's long in the making, and it's not going to be short in the undoing of
Exactly.
that.